Hello, everyone. I'm certified natural healthcare practitioner ErinThole, and I'm very excited because we have Kathy Jacobson with us today, and she is a stem cell patch expert. And so she's going to teach us all about stem cell patches today and what that can do for our longevity and health. So thank you for being here, Kathy. I'm very excited to have people hear about this because it's pretty wild.
It is. Thank you for having me. And so, yeah, activating your stem cells yourself without putting someone else's DNA into your body is pretty amazing. It's very exciting.
Yes, yes. So we met at a wellness fair, and Kathy started telling me about these stem cell patches. And I was like, I feel like I've heard something about this, intermittently throughout the last couple of years, but I've never looked into it. I've never done anything with it. But, you were kind of handing out these little samples like candies. And so I was like, all right, might as well give it a try. I love to try new things and see what else is out there that I might potentially bring to my clients. I was pretty skeptical, truth be told, at first. I was like, yeah, I'll try this. We'll see. I didn't really have any expectation of it whatsoever. I was like, I'm just going to try this for a couple days, but I definitely noticed some big time changes. I had a lot more energy. My mood was better, like all day long. I slept really great. Like each night it got, better and better. And yeah, my mood was good, my energy was good, my mind felt good. I felt calm, cool, collected. Like it was great. So now I'm hooked on the patches. And so I just want to kind of let all of our viewers learn more about them. So I thought I would have you on to just share your knowledge and what these little guys can do for people.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, so it looks like this. It looks like it's the size of a quarter and it looks like a little band-aid. It's why everyone, including ourselves, were extremely skeptical and for months would not believe all of the clinical studies that I read about it. There's just no way that this little band-aid could do that. We just didn't believe it until you experience it yourself or you watch a loved one who gets to reduce medications, whether they're getting off reducing thyroid medication or A1C meds, or they're just reducing or having their arthritis go away. They've done 90 clinical studies on their patches. They've shipped to 81 countries. It's a really exciting time, and what it works through is something called phototherapy. So it's considered what is a non-transdermal patch. So do you know what a transdermal patch is? That would be like Tylenol or a nicotine patch. That is putting something into your skin. This is not putting anything into your skin. This is working through phototherapy, meaning you know what, I'm going to play, so you don't just hear it from me. I'm going to play a quick 1-minute video of Dr. Goggins, MD, one of our many MDs that is a big proponent of the patches, and let her quick explain phototherapy to you.
Okay.
I'm Dr. Linda Goggin, and if you're here, you're probably here because you're wondering, do Lifewave X39 patches work? Maybe you've heard about them from a friend, and you're wondering, is there truly science behind it? And I want to give you some information that will help you make your decisions. Because as a family doctor for the past 20 years, I'm a functional medicine doctor for the past 5. This is one of the most exciting things that have come about in my time practicing medicine. I actually feel like the people who have gone and gotten the Lifewave X39 patches, they may actually be better served than anything I've done medically for them, because what this does is it helps healing from the inside out. There's a lot of science behind this, and it's nice because it's non-pharmaceutical, and I love that as a functional medicine doctor. And what happens is when you put this sticker, it's a little sticker the size of the quarter on your skin, it reflects light back into the body at certain wavelengths. You guys know how when the sun shines on you, your body makes vitamin D. The sun shines on you, your body makes vitamin D. Right, it's like that, but it goes much deeper than that. When you put a Lifewave X39 patch on your skin, it increases a copper peptide called GHK-Cu. As you get older, GHK-Cu drops. GHK-Cu stimulates your stem cells. The X39 increases your energy, it improves sleep, it reduces pain, it does help your wrinkles, but that is, it's just an external revelation of what's happening on the inside
So just wanted to share a little bit by Dr. Goggins. And then I want to show you what's going on, just like she said, what's going on with your stem cells in your own body. Everyone has stem cells, lots of stem cells as a newborn, and even lots as a child. But by the time you get to about 35, you've lost more than half the stem cell activity you had as a kid. And by the time you get to 60, you have less than 10% of the stem cell activity you had as a child. And so it is why people decline. It is why you get wrinkles. It is why you get gray hair. It is why you can't fight the cancer as well. It's why you get more heart, you get heart issues and arthritis and all these different things start popping up. Your body has less and less stem cells to go heal and do all that regenerative healing power. It can't do that anymore. And so more and more things start cropping up. And so we are not the only people that have been doing studies on how to activate stem cells without putting someone else's DNA into you. So both us and a doctor named Dr. Lauren Picard and some other doctors have done clinical studies on if you increase this copper peptide, what is it doing? Well, it's actually activating stem cells within your body. And so people start seeing in both their clinical studies and ours, we start seeing inflammation come down. You know, if you're getting blood work done, our MDs and naturopaths and therapists and everyone else can see that your inflammation comes down, but you don't need to get a blood test for that. You're going to feel that if you have arthritis, and you may not feel it on day one of wearing the patch. If you go and get a $15,000 stem cell injection in Panama City or in Mexico or someone, they're going to tell you, give it 6 months. Give it 6 months because you need time for the stem cells to work. Regrowing cartilage in a knee, regrowing tendons and ligaments in your shoulder, regrowing heart or lung or neurons in the brain, that takes some time. And so while a lot of people do feel things like Erin did in the first couple days, some people don't feel things for a few weeks because it takes time to do what it needs to do. And I think one of the coolest thing is, someone will get on this because we're like, gosh, I would really love to reduce all these medications. It's, having these compounding issues because of all medications, or I would love to not be in pain. I mean, that is one of the big reasons people come to us. And so it is really exciting when they get to see those changes. And so sometimes, your body's going to decide where those stem cells go. And for you might get on it for knee pain, but it's starting to help your sleep, and you notice your mood gets better, and you notice your blood pressure is better, and you notice all these things might happen before your knee. Your body is going to decide what's most crucial. And so some people will get it on it for a certain thing and then see all this ricochet of amazing results that they get to experience from having more stem cells, including the longer they stay on them, the more they see that their skin gets better. And for some people, they're getting more hair, right? Even we have clients that are actually growing back their original hair color instead of growing back gray. We have some clients growing back their original hair color. And again, that takes some time. It's going to go to what's most crucial first. But that's what stem cells do, is start reversing your internal age, is what we get to see on some of our clients' blood work.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
I love it. Yeah, that's really cool. So there's multiple different types of patches. So how do you use them? How do you decide which ones someone should be using? How does that all work? Can you use multiple at the same time?
Great. Those are all great questions. So I'm going to encourage you to go to a website called startx39now.com, which I will show you right now. And that is a great site to just go learn more. You can watch different doctors by different practitioners that recommend it for their clients. You can kind of relearn what I just talked about. But as you scroll down and you kind of learn about all this, you also can see a bunch of before and after pictures. Now, some of these pictures, are talking about skin. Obviously, when you start seeing it on the skin, most of the time you've already felt changes within your body. It's already doing things internally. But one of the fast things we see proven in our clinical studies is that wound healing dramatically, quickly, we see fast on improvement on wound healing. It's the same reason we have plastic surgeons that now recommend this to all their clients, because they see what one of our plastic surgeons out of Florida sees that his clients heal about 40% faster if they wear the patches before and after surgery. And even on the 10-day post-op, he can see that they have healed so much faster than a typical client at the 10-day post-op. So this is one of a doctor who actually cut his finger, he said, down to the bone, and in 5 days he was golfing again. That dramatic healing of stem cells helping you heal faster. This is someone that had gotten a surgery. A year later, they still have the middle scar, the middle picture, and then they went on the patches for 1 month, just 1 month. And then you can see the difference to the third picture.
Wow. Yeah.
Just 1 month on patches. And again, they got on it for something internal inside their body, but then to just be able to see that healing. And of course, we think with younger, this gentleman's in his 20s, you think people that are younger, well, they don't need stem cell activation. They've got lots of stem cells. And yes, they do have more, but anyone can benefit from this. We have athletes and pro athletes and Olympians all around the world that use these patches to help them perform better, to help their body recover better from workouts, and to perform better. So this is a gentleman that had an accident and he had a job interview. And so 3 days later, the dramatic healing, even a 20-year-old's not going to heal that fast. Yeah. And so scoliosis improvement, you can see lots and lots of skin pictures. I do want to show this one because I think it's pretty cool. This is a young boy, again, jumping back to a young boy. He cut his finger off completely. The dad took the finger with him. They went to the doctor. They said it's not going to grow back. And the parents who had been using the patches for themselves insisted, no, we want it grown back on. We think it'll grow back. So he sewed it back on. It ended up turning completely black. And then with the patches, it ended up growing back. And that's his finger now, completely. He has all his sensation back. But that's what, increasing your stem cells can do. We also get to see some cool things, internally with those getting scans done, with if you have a pinched nerve or something going on internally. Again, it's not going to happen overnight that a pinched nerve is going to stop, but it's going to regrow those tissues and ligaments and everything supporting your spine and your neck, wherever's most crucial in the body. And you can see when they went back to get a scan much later, what a difference that you can see there in that scan from before and after. Sorry, I should probably zoom in. But you can also go back and look here at startx39now.com and see for yourself. But jumping back to your question, I wanted to scroll down. I wanted to show you that you can also look, if you're a science, you like to read the full-on clinical studies, you can go here and click on the 90+ clinical studies, and you can see the full clinical studies and read all the details. You'll see that there are 0 contraindications with other medications, 0 side effects. Awesome. Because there's no drug going into your body. It is working through phototherapy. It is working through your own infrared light. And it's actually reflecting with the crystallized amino acids embedded inside the middle of this patch. And they figured out what very specific patented combination of crystallized amino acids would trigger that peptide to start making stem cells. So you can read the clinical studies. You can read some of the other clinical studies that other groups and doctors have done on the patches. And then getting to your question, you can go on down here and you can click on deep dive into the entire product line or the all products flyer. And so I'm going to click on that. Oh, before I do though, I do want to share, if you're trying to share this with your spouse or a loved one that you care about, that you think this would be benefit for, whether they have autoimmune issues or just pain or they're not sleeping well, and you don't know how to explain it, scroll on down here to what the doctors are saying about the patented X39 stem cell activation patch. And you can click on any of these and play these. I love this one by Dr. Don Volhurst. He's an MD, very holistic minded MD. And it's a 15-minute video, but just watch the first 8 minutes. It does a great explanation of why you want to be on the patches and then why you want to be on the patches for, that why some people, you may not see results in the first couple of days, you might take a few weeks. But it is, what it's really doing internally, and shares kind of some of his own stories of his own clients and patients. So I love to look in there. Okay. And then, but back again to your question of deep diving into the patches. So you can kind of learn a little bit about each patch. They are a 20-year-old company. They're not brand new. But this company really, really grew outside the US because the United States is not as well known for being so holistic. We're getting a lot better here in the last few years. And so actually for the first time ever, US sales were the top country for sales last year. And so it's an over 400 something million dollar company per year. And most of that growth has all been in the last 4 years since they released this patch that activates your stem cells. But like you were saying, there's some other patches that are really crucial for people to start with. And so if you decide you want to order, you will go, Erin has a link here below in the description, and you can click on her link and order right away. You also can email me and I can put the order in for you. You know, a lot of people get too busy, you don't have time, and some people get confused on the website.
Because they can get wholesale pricing, correct?
Perfect.
So,
yes. So Erin is really awesome, and she is passing on her wholesale price, the same price she bought the patches at. She is passing on that price to you guys. And so we want to make sure that you obviously get that and you're not paying the retail price. So if you get it all confused ordering online, just email me and I can put your order in. It's stempatch@gmail.com, but that link is down below, but that's StemPatch. Yep, stempatch@gmail.com, and you can email me and I'll reach out to you for a quick phone call and get your order in. But the main 3 patches that we want everyone to start off with, I know we talked a lot about the X39, but there's 2 other ones that are really crucial for people to start with to get results faster. So we talked about X39, lots of studies behind that, but here's another one I want to talk about. There's these 2, Aeon and Glutathione. So Aeon is reducing inflammation and cortisol in the body. So if you have a lot of stress, you're taking anxiety medications, PTSD, depression, this is but even if you have pain, because obviously if you have pain, any health issue, you have inflammation in your body. This patch is proven, and we see it with our clients every day, is that it reduces that inflammation and cortisol in the body. And you don't have to get blood work done. You're going to feel and notice that difference, is what we see with our clients. But you can go get your CRP done before and after, or fibrinogen, and you'll see your inflammation markers come down, or at least that's what we see with our clients time and time again. And that's what was seen within the clinical studies. And so the reason this patch is so important is when you start activating stem cells, a large amount of your even your own current stem cells, you don't have near as much as you used to, but those stem cells are going to deal with the inflammation in your body, all over your heart, your lungs, your hip pain. It's trying to divide and conquer and help all those problems, but there's so much inflammation, it just can't do it all. And so, like we talked about, more and more issues crop up. So this Aeon patch helps things to happen faster, results to happen quicker, because it's reducing the inflammation in the body, in your area of pain, but also systemically through your whole body. And so people, when you're of course wearing that X39 patch at the exact same time or that same day, that those stem cells that are getting activated, those can do more regenerative things. You want those stem cells to go rebuild tissue and connect your brain and the neurons and ligaments and tendons, whatever you need to be redone. Your body knows what's most crucial. And so that means that the stem cell patch can work better and faster because you've reduced some of that inflammation and cortisol in the body. And so some people love this patch. They can tell the difference because they feel that less anxiety, that less stress in the body, because it's reducing that cortisol and inflammation on day 1. And again, so that's why, like Erin felt, and a lot of people feel better mood, deeper sleep, more energy, sometimes on day 1 or 2, and others take longer. The glutathione patch is the 3rd one. I call it the trifecta of 3 patches everyone must start on: X39, Aeon, and glutathione. Now, you have glutathione in your body, but the problem is, same thing as stem cells declining, your glutathione levels decline as you age. And why glutathione is important is that it is the master antioxidant in your body. And it is what is helping detoxify your body. You get more and more toxins, heavy metals, bacteria, mold, fungus, viruses in your body, and again, causing more and more problems in the body. And when you have less glutathione to clean all that out, to clean your liver and your kidney and your organs out and your brain, if you can't clean that out, then again, more issues are cropping up because you have those toxins in you. And so I love I'm going to share 3 quick clinical study results on glutathione. On day one, they saw within 24 hours, it increased people's glutathione levels by 300% all day long.
That's awesome.
Immediately, which the thing that's big about that, and I have some clients that used to take a glutathione supplement and then they took this patch and they're like, wow, at like the 2-month mark, they really felt different, like they were firing on all cylinders and their organ, just so much improvement had happened. And that's because if you take a supplemental form of glutathione, whether it's IV drip or supplement,
It's hard supplementally to get glutathione to actually like take in the body. Like you have to be very specific about the type of glutathione supplementation that you're taking, because a lot of times it doesn't work. Because it's made up of 3 different amino acids. And so it just gets broken down into those 3 amino acids, like as your body's digesting it. So it's hard to get, a form supplementally that actually gets delivered and stays as glutathione in the body. So this is a great way to kind of get around that.
Exactly. And then it has a half-life of like 7 minutes. So within an hour or 2, that glutathione, if let's assume your body did even absorb it correctly, it's out of the body. And so it's no longer doing any good. And so just the very first clinical study on just that glutathione patch proved so much for the body. And then they did another clinical study. They tested the function of different organs. And then 2 months later, after wearing the patch, just glutathione every day, they checked organ function again. And they saw that lots of organs improved, but even more so, 8 organs significantly improved function in just 2 months. One of that was hypothalamus in the brain. And when you have your organs working better because you've cleaned out the toxins and the heavy metals and the mold, the bacteria, fungus, virus, all those things, people start to notice that change in the body, that their organs are working better. They notice sometimes that their sinuses are better. I don't even usually bring that up, but I have clients all the time say, does this help sinuses? Because I can't believe this, and so people see that early on as well sometimes. But one more study I love. So when you detox, the way it comes out is through your urine, your number 2, your sweat, your saliva, even your menstruation. That is the way you detox. And so they were doing urine samples on a double-blind clinical study, and they saw that the group that had the placebo or the fake patch, they weren't showing any heavy metals or mercury in the urine, but the group that had the real patch was showing mercury and some heavy metals in their urine, some significant levels. And when you can get that out, man, the way your brain and body can function better is incredible. And so I don't let anyone order without ordering glutathione. And I encourage my clients to do that, plan to do it 2 to 3 times, 2 to 3 months every year. Kind of think at the beginning of the year, I'm gonna do that detox. And so I will share that I did mention there are 0 side effects. But I will say that if you started to use these patches and you start noticing, I'm getting a little headache, or first off, you want to be drinking lots of water. You're detoxing. You want to flush them out. You got to flush them out. And you want to drink a lot of water so that you can activate as many stem cells as possible. Because if you're dehydrated, you're not going to be getting as much your money's worth, let's say. You want to do as much as you can. So you really want to focus on drinking water. Erin, what do you tell your clients is kind of a rule of thumb for drinking water?
Half your body weight in ounces of water a day, more if you are out in the heat, doing yard work and stuff like that, or working out.
Perfect. Yes. And if you're having caffeine or alcohol, you might even want to up that water even.
And that too. Very good point. Yes, for sure.
But with that said, even if you drink a lot of water, if you start to see some of those common detox symptoms, headache, getting really tired, you're going to take that glutathione patch off. It even can happen a little bit with X39. Even though it's activating stem cells, it's increasing your glutathione a little bit, not near as much as this glutathione patch we're looking at right now, but it is increasing that glutathione a little bit, the X39 is. So even with that one, if you were to notice some of that, you're just going to take it off. It doesn't mean you're allergic to it. It doesn't mean it's bad for you. It means you're detoxing, which is a pretty awesome thing. But we don't want you to detox too fast and have headaches or not feel good, feel too tired. So if you notice something little, like your urine smells a little more, or maybe you're sweating a little bit more. I've even had clients who noticed a little bit of a metallic taste in their mouth. As long as it's not, a couple clients mentioned they were a little gassier. that's just your body getting it out. So if that doesn't bother you, don't slow it down. It's just if you were to feel those bigger detox symptoms like a headache or lethargic, then take the glutathione patch off and wear it slower. So you might only wear it every third day at the beginning. We actually recommend to clients that they'll start with X39 and Aeon on day number 1. And then a week later, they'll start glutathione every other day for just a week. And then after that, by the 3rd week, they're going to be wearing all 3 every day. And that way they're just kind of slowing their detox process so that they can hopefully avoid any detox symptoms that way. And that usually works great. And then people don't notice anything. That's would be a big detox at all.
So you're usually having people wear the X39 during the day, the Aeon at night, and then the glutathione during the day or at night, or is it
glutathione always during the day, because you want to be drinking that water, especially while you're doing the detoxing. And actually all 3 can be worn during the day, but I do recommend that you wear Aeon at night if sleep could be better for you. If you're not sleeping 8 hours a night on average, or 7.5 on average per night, I would wear Aeon at night. Now, it's still going to help reduce that inflammation and cortisol, but it's just be doing it at night. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this, but all of the patches you want to wear 12 hours on, take it off, trash it, 12 hours off. If it's 13 or 14 or 10, it's fine. You did fine, but you want to give your body a break. People sometimes don't realize you're literally pushing these peptides to work better in your body, like they did when you were younger. And so you want to give your body a break. So take it off, trash it, set a timer on your phone for, every morning at 8 a.m., every evening at 8 p.m. to remind yourself to put them on or take them off. And so, yes, I do have some clients that where their sleep can improve that I highly recommend they do X39, and once they add glutathione during the day too. So X39 glutathione in the day, and then Aeon at night. So let's say they're putting X39 8 a.m. in the morning, they're putting on their X39 and their glutathione once they get 2 weeks in. And then they're wearing at 8 p.m., they're taking those off and they're putting Aeon on. So if your sleep can improve, do Aeon at night.
Okay.
Because it's reducing that cortisol in the body. And so you're going to put it on, let's say you put it on at 8 p.m. or you do 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. either way. Let's say you're putting on Aeon at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. You're giving your brain a few hours for that cortisol to kind of come down before you go to bed. And that can be really calming and great for people whose brains don't shut off at night or they wake up in the middle of the night. Now, I will say there is another patch that we would want to add in for you called Silent Nights. If you know, I wake up in the middle of the night and can't fall back asleep, or I'm up for an hour or two in the middle of the night a few nights a week, or I take an hour to fall asleep a few nights a week, then you probably want to add in that Silent Night patch in addition to what we just talked about. And so if you're not sure how to do that for ordering, again, you're just going to email me and I'll take care of your order. It's stempatch@gmail.com. Yeah.
Awesome.
Or you can go to the link below and just add it into your cart.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm so excited about this. I want to try some out on my kids too. And see like what I notice, especially like the glutathione and stuff like that. I think that would be beneficial just because knowing like their genetic SNPs and things of that nature, I'm like, yeah, that glutathione, that'd be a good idea. The Aeon, that'd be a good idea, so, and then you don't have to wrestle with them to get them to take a supplement if that's an issue for, your kids. My kids are good supplement takers because they've been taking them forever, so, but my son's getting to be an age where he's like, I don't want to take that one, or I don't want to take, my daughter's like, I'll take whatever, so, yeah, I'm thinking that'd be a good thing to try on them and just kind of do my own little home study, see what.
We have a lot of clients who then, their kids that are having anxiety and stress issues, whether it's just kind of a cycle in their life at that time, or they have a lot going on and pressure. They see that Aeon is a great patch for them. I even have a client where her son says that actually wearing 2 Aeon every day actually helps him even more.
Wow.
We say 1 patch a day, but I mean, I have had some clients because it's reducing the inflammation cortisol. I had a client who had restless leg, multiple clients who it's now gone. And some of them just use 1 Aeon, but I had a couple that put an Aeon on each restless leg at night, an evening, and wore it for their 12 hours all night. And within a few weeks of being on the patches, they saw that restless leg stop, something they've had for years. But back to
at the same time, you wouldn't do like one for 12 hours, take it off and put another one on?
No, because you always want to give that 12-hour break. You want to make
Okay.
sure, because you're pushing this peptide that's in the liver to reduce the inflammation and cortisol in the body. And so you want to give it that break.
Makes sense.
I mean, I think everyone should just start with one, but some clients, once they start seeing, oh God, wow, my hip got better. Okay, now let's see what's going to also be.
Well, it must be better, right?
I will say it doesn't show it in the brochure you get in the mail, but Aeon is a great patch to put right on an inflammation site. So if you have hip pain, like I was talking about the restless leg, they're putting it right on their leg. If you have shoulder pain, if you have lots of bloating, GI issues, put that Aeon below your belly button. It's that's a great location as well. And so you can follow exactly what they say. Just putting them on is going to help your body wherever you put them.
Yeah.
You don't have to overthink. It's like, get them on your body, drink your water, and you're going to start to see improvement. But some people just ignore the sheet and put all of the patches where their pain site is or their inflammation site is. And that's fine too. Yeah. It's going to start working being up against your skin. And if anyone has an adhesive allergy of any sort, they are latex free, but if you have an adhesive allergy, it literally just needs to be, it is working with your infrared light and heat, which comes out from your body. And so we've had clients that wore it on the outside of their clothing and it still worked. Now, I would recommend having it closer in as possible. So you'd want a fitted shirt, or some people have put it on the outside of their underwear, but the inside of their pants. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's really close up against their thin underwear, up against the skin, or even sticking it to the inside of their shirt or whatever. So it's up against them. If for some reason, we have lots of parents that end up getting their kids that are on the spectrum or have special needs, and sometimes they don't want to feel something. Yeah. And so that works really great for them because they don't even know it's there, but they're all of a sudden sleeping better, in better mood, and less aggressive or whatever their kind of issues were. And so that's life-changing. So just know that that is an option to be able, it doesn't have to be right on the skin. Although I would say if you don't have an issue with it, put it on the skin.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, I'm super excited. Super excited to hear people's stories about the changes that they're seeing. I have one client that has her and I were talking a couple of days ago, and she's like, have you heard about these stem cell patches? And I was like, yeah, actually, I was just testing some out the other day. Why? What are you doing? And she told me like her whole story. So might have to have her on at some point in time and tell her whole story, because it's pretty phenomenal. It's pretty awesome. I was like super jazzed up hearing her story. Cause then I was like, okay, like I'm seeing what I'm seeing from my, my health and my side of it. And now I'm hearing your story, which is far more interesting than my story. So, this is pretty cool. So yeah, I'll have to have her on at some point in time and tell her story with it. So
yeah, and you'll start to see just more and more people everywhere wearing it, but also athletes and famous people all the time send me pictures. Did you know this artist or musician is wearing them? And you don't have to wear it where it's seen and visible. I am wearing actually the glutathione patch, and one of the locations is up here where you're close to your lymph nodes, one of the acupressure points they recommend. But there's lots of other points you can put it on, and so it doesn't have to be here and talking about it. So it's kind of nice to have it visible anyways, but just know you don't have to have it visible at all. But you'll start to see more and more athletes, pro athletes. We have the Rice Athletic Department that uses them, Olympians that are using it.
Everybody
used to use them, just all kinds of pro athletes. Michael Phelps, the US swim team, have used Lifewave patches. So yeah, there's you'll just see it more and more.
Yeah, I think that's where I first heard about it, was with the US swim team when Michael Phelps was on the US swim team. I think that's when
so that back then, that was before the patch that activates your stem cells, but it was some of those other patches that I've talked about that help the body. And so they were using some of those other ones before that one was down. So now that the stem cell activation one is out, now there's even a bigger hype.
For sure.
Even so much more, such a higher regenerative power at this point.
That's awesome. I'm super stoked about it. Thank you so much, Kathy, for being on and educating us all on how amazing this is. So yes, like Kathy said, if anybody wants to order, all of the information on the various ways that you can do that are going to be below this video in the notes. You know, my link and then her email address as well, so that you can get what you need. So yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.